Welcome to the JJ's Declutter podcast, where we tackle the mess and stress to make space for what truly matters. I'm Janis, here with Julie, and together we're sharing our best tips, tricks, and a little humor to help you declutter your home, mind, and life. Whether it's procrastination or piles of stuff, we're here to help you make real progress. Let's dive in.
Hello and welcome back. We are going to talk today about decluttering without making a mess. And honestly, that can't always happen. There's always going to be a
it can't always happen, but we've all done it. I mean, you say, oh, I'm going to declutter the closet, right? And so you pull everything out, and halfway through, you get either distracted or you look at everything and you go, oh my gosh, why did I even start? Because you seem to you now have a bigger mess in the middle of your room, whereas before it was in your closet.
Right. So, and that is where it's like a bomb went off in the house and you're going, oh my gosh. And that's what we call the Messessary Middle. So it is a natural part of the process.
Yep.
And it's like that saying, people, it's always darkest before the dawn and all those kinds of things. And Messessary Middle means you're making progress.
Yeah.
So don't be discouraged by it, be encouraged by it.
Every decluttering process or project has three phases. So you have the beginning, the Messessary Middle, and the end. So the beginning is your planning, you're setting up, you're deciding where you're going to what you're going to tackle, and getting your tools ready. So that's the planning process. The Messessary Middle is when you have a lot of chaos and you're pulling things out and you're making decisions. And it's kind of when it doesn't look like you're making progress, but you really are. And then the end is restoring order to all your stuff. And then you get to feel really good about having more space, less clutter, and that feeling of achievement. So when you have that mess in the middle, you need to remember that it's proof that you're making progress and you're doing the work. Because if you didn't have a mess, that means you just let everything stay the same it was. And we want you to move forward.
Right. So you're going to want to plan ahead, because you need to identify the space that you're going to be decluttering, and set realistic goals for yourself. So you can do, if you have a big walk-in closet that you need to do, and it is, full of stuff on the floor and on the shelves and hanging and all that, you need to just simply prepare yourself that this is going to take some time, and it may take more than one session, and that's okay. If you only have 3 minutes to walk in there and work on that, it's okay to do that. You just need to realize you're going to have your Messessary Middle is going to be hanging around a little longer than usual, but that's okay as long as you continue on with your plan. And if you can empty the area entirely, that's okay. I try with like a bigger area like that, I try not to do that because it overwhelms me. And if I take everything out of the closet and then try to sort it, it's already a huge mess, and now I'm making it a bigger mess. So I sort as I pull it out, or I will do what is called a rolling sort. So I will start on one edge of a shelf, and I'll go for about, a foot and a half to 2 feet, and I'll deal with that. And then I'll go on to the next foot and a half to 2 feet. That way, if I get a phone call, if I've got to run somewhere, help out a neighbor, whatever, it's not going to be a huge pile of stuff that I have left there. So a little bit of Messessary Middle is absolutely fine if you need to step away, and you need to be okay with that. That's part of your mindset.
And you also need to collect your supplies, which are either bags, bags, boxes, some sort of container to put your keep, let go, sentimental, and trash stuff it. So when you're tackling all the stuff that you've pulled out, you've got this, you're staring at this pile of things. Um, we like to use the keep or let's go method. But it's hard to say. Keep means it stays in the area. Lease is for lives elsewhere, which means that we're going to rehome them someplace else. You know, put them away immediately or make a make a little collection, but you're going to put those away at the end. Um, Also, trash is the T. S is for sentimental and those things. If you're not up to making a decision, put it in a sentimental box and tackle it later. And then go is for the things that leave your house. So either donate, sell, gift, return borrowed items. Those are things that you should be taken care of so you don't have other people's clutter lying around your house. Yeah.
Exactly, and if you're going to sell something, give yourself a definite date to sell by. It gets listed and sold within the 2 weeks, or it goes into donation at that
Yep.
point. So give yourself a deadline and don't make it a very long deadline. Although I do understand some people will, if they have space to keep it, they'll have a box of things that they're going to sell right before Christmas. And so they may need to wait a few months to actually list those. So I do understand that. But honestly, for me, it's like if I can't sell it right now, then I'm donating it.
Yeah.
I
Donating
just
is
do not have the space.
Donating items is the fastest way to get things out of your house.
Right. Yeah.
Because when you sell things, you have to list it. You have to wait for people to come to say yeah they want it, and then they have to pay, and then you have to meet up with them. There's a lot of different things that go into selling items. I
Mhm.
just tend to donate my things. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not a big person to sell things. And
If
it
it is
depends on
something that's worth a lot
yeah.
and it'll be worth my money to do that or my time to do that, I will. But if it's like going to be a $20 item, I just don't have the patience to hang around for 2 weeks to wait for somebody to hopefully pay me the 20 bucks, you know? So, we put a free box at the curb or we take it to, charity shops, but
So now that you have cleared or decluttered an area, how do you prevent it from becoming recluttered? Because it does happen.
oh, it
Um,
happens. It is true.
One way is to store like with like or similar items together so
Mhm,
you can access it easy and it's usually easier to remember where it is, where you're storing it. Another one is use containers. So containerize your things in either categories or groups and label it. So that way, not only
absolutely.
you remember without having to go through the entire box, but other people who are looking for that item can find it too.
True, true. And, labeling is really important because that is where you end up with the doom box. All of a sudden, you don't know what's in there, and so now what is it? And next time you need that cookie cutter, it's, in the garage closet. So, um, it's really good to label your things and let your family know or housemates know, things are labeled. So when I have moved some things in our house, I make sure and tell my handsome husband that this is where I've moved this to. And hopefully between the two of us, we'll remember. Oh, yes, I've done that before. I organized it so well, but I didn't label the box.
So,
And
and
I
another
was,
thing is revisit the spaces that you decluttered periodically because you may no longer need something.
Mhm,
Something that doesn't live there may have snuck in there somehow.
right,
But really, your needs change, and whether or not you want to keep something now versus 6 months from now, you may feel completely different about an item. So
right.
revisit areas periodically. If it's something that is, it's not something you use all the time, put it in your on your phone calendar as a reminder to go through the box in the garage, in 2 months, that type of a thing.
Well, and I did that type of thing with some coats that I was going through my closet and it was like there was a couple I was not ready to let go of them. Do I wear them? Probably not in the last 3 years, but I couldn't let go of them yet. And so what I did with those is I actually, which I don't do this with all my other clothes, but I did it with the jackets. I turned the hangers around.
Yeah.
So I knew if I did wear them and I set a reminder for 60 days, I gave myself 2 months because of the time of year it was. It was the perfect time to have used those jackets if I was going to. And so I set 60 days out. And in 60 days, I came back and there was actually 3 jackets I had. One of them I got rid of, the other 2 I'd actually worn. So that that made me feel better. Um, because I wasn't ready to let go. And it's okay if you get to something and you're not ready. Just like Janice said, put it in your phone, have that reminder pop up, and act on it when that reminder pops up. Remind yourself that reminders are good. So with that, yeah, you don't want any rebound clutter. So you want to make sure that you do get things out of there. And you will notice that your family may start, if you are decluttering different areas, they may start using those areas more with their clutter. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh,
but it
look how
is
nice. I'm going to go sit over here and work on it. And then they don't put their stuff away. It, hap-
exactly
it happens. It's part of living, communal living.
right.
So,
So go ahead,
so
Janice.
we just wanted to remind you to tackle a small space today. Just one drawer, one shelf, one pile of papers, something like that. Um, Realize that when you're sorting, that mess is temporary, and that that you can put things in order very easily.
Right.
So go out there and give it a try.
Absolutely. And remember, keep it simple, keep it intentional, and as always, keep decluttering.
And join us next week. Subscribe.
Absolutely.
We'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the JJ's Declutter podcast. If you're ready to keep simplifying, follow us for more tips and join our Facebook community to share your wins and challenges. Subscribe here because it's always more fun to declutter with friends. And thanks in advance for leaving us a review.